The Southeast Asian Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone Treaty needs to be verified by the summit body at least at the ASEAN Summit coming up next month. And Professor Ghosh added that India's role in it.
But there's actually, within ASEAN context, there's one charter or agreement that the nations need to verify, that is Southeast Asia Nuclear Weapons-Free Free Zone Treaty. So what does India have to do with this?
Yes, there is a specific difference between India and Southeast Asia or ASEAN. ASEAN, they want the nuclear non-proliferation very much. They are in favor of this stopping of nuclear weapons, weaponization of nuclear thing. But for Indian context, although in India there is debate in the country. There are a group of people who believe that non-proliferation of nuclear weapon is very important, but at the same time from the security aspect, that is so-called traditional security aspect, people believe that no, this nuclear weaponization is very, very important because of our neighboring enemy countries. But I believe, if you ask me personally, this is absolutely my personal opinion, is that weaponization is not the last resort to solve your problem with your neighbor.
Right.
Rather, by forces of humanism, by forces of more cooperation, collaboration and opening of one other's society, opening of one other's culture, understanding each other can be a better weapon to for future harmonization of society, instead of nuclear weapons.
It is debatable whether the opening up of Myanmar will affect or is the key to the Indian-ASEAN connectivity, at least geographically. Professor Ghosh also affirms how India gives priority to education and cooperation amongst all.
Myanmar has opened up politically, economically.
Yes.
So basically, in terms of geography, so India and ASEAN has become closer because Myanmar has opened up. So the connectivity being very more opened.
Yes.
What's your take on this?
Yes, I feel that Myanmar is always an important issue in context of India-ASEAN relation, because India is sharing border, geographical border with Myanmar. And the important thing is that unless and until Myanmar comes within the close orbit of India-ASEAN relation, India-ASEAN relation cannot be successful. And that way connectivity is very, even not only India-ASEAN, in context of India-China relations too. Now a group of people in Indian society, they are contemplating evolution of good India-China relations. And there also we see that Myanmar has a great role to play. Because historically speaking, again I would say that all our interaction, whether with China or with Southeast Asia, were motivated through Myanmar only. There were route linkages that we can think of Southern Silk Route, which connected India with China. Then we can think of other routes from through Shan states towards Thailand, or from Manipur to Mandalay, that way. So this is the traditional setup. How we can ignore it? So that way it is very very much laudable fact that Myanmar is opened up now. And in fact, this just last week I was in Myanmar. And
how was it?
Yes, I liked the place very much, and I like the spirit of the people, that they are now very keen for going on cooperation. In fact, I was there on a state invitation from the Myanmar government, and they are looking for some academic collaboration with my university. And that's a very, very important thing, because about say 20-25 years back, it may not be out of place to mention that my first love, my first academic love was Myanmar, history of Myanmar. My PhD thesis, that was on Myanmar, but somehow that time I could not enter Myanmar. And now I am getting the proposal from Myanmar government that they are keen to develop relations with my university. That educational cooperation, that is exchange of faculties, exchange of students, and that is really fascinating. I am really happy about this thing.
Right. So the Indian government has given lots of opportunities for Myanmar's academic faculties.
Yes. I know our Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, he already paid a visit to Myanmar. And we can believe that by next 10 years, definitely many improvements and many close collaborations will come up.
Talking about security, another significant question is India's perspective on China, and of course, when facing up with the unsettling South China Sea dispute.
But in the face of Chinese influence in this region, what do you think should India, implement its role upon this influence? Should it be, competitive?
I don't think there should be competition. People say that India can always compete China in Myanmar. What use of competition? Why not collaboration? Because India is thinking of India-China collaboration too. It is not that China is always our enemy. There is civil society in China who believes in deep academic, deep social collaborations. My university, my department, it has academic program with Kunming University. So, why competition? But I don't know about government policy. Just apart from government policy, just to emphasize the view of the civil society as an academician of the civil society, I believe that instead of competition, let us think of cooperation or collaboration. That would definitely lead to a better human development.
I see. But the South China Sea dispute, it's still going on and on and on. Would you see it as a threatened aspect to the India-ASEAN cooperation?
You see, again I would say that there is a difference in the government and civil society position. The External Affairs Ministry of India as well as of China, they may think something that a competition is going on in the South China Sea, and there is a kind of power scrambling between India and China in South China Sea. But still I feel that there is a big but, and here ASEAN can come up as a good force. Because ASEAN can play a very positive role in between India and China relations. They can balance it up. Instead of just scrambling for geographical areas, why don't we think of some collaborative joint projects in those South China Sea area?
Like a joint development
projects. Yes. India is a big power, China is also a big power. So, why don't we contribute, and ASEAN as a whole is also a big power. Why three taken together, why don't we contribute for the human development? I always look to the positive side of the thing instead of conflict and conflict is not the best solution, war is not the best solution, peace is the last solution, and we must always think in terms of human development.
Sustainable development.
Sustainable development, otherwise we cannot survive.
Towards the integrating of the ASEAN Economic Community in 2015, there are various opportunities for India to grasp.
So, okay, last question in terms of the future, the ASEAN Economic Community.
Yes.
Yeah. What are the opportunities that India will have with this?
Yes. So definitely one is the context of trade, and secondary point maybe the context of tourism. Tourism can be an important aspect of development in India-ASEAN relations, and thirdly also, although that is not economic, I would like to mention here that there should be more academic collaborations, education, in field of education. So, trade, tourism and education, these should be taken together in the context of ASEAN-India, and ASEAN Economic Community should also give some emphasis, some stress on these three aspects. So, that how they can, in my paper I have mentioned about medical tourism. That can be a good aspect of collaboration. So, ASEAN Economic Community, it should work within its parameter of ASEAN economic community, but at the same time they should also work with India, considering these three fields of cooperation, that is trade, tourism and education.
And this has been Towards 2015. You can watch us again every weekdays from 3:30 to 4 p.m. on the Nation channel. As for today, thank you for watching us and goodbye.